Welcome to another AutoGuide long-term test. When picking a car for a long-term test, we try to find something new and significant, as well as innovative and interesting, but still accessible to a wider audience. Although it's hard to tell at first glance, this Audi A4 is entirely new, with a lighter chassis and more powerful engines, and a bunch of new technologies that make driving easier and safer. We're testing the A4 in the fall and winter so that we can see Quattro all-wheel drive in its element, challenge it against some key competitors, as well as put it through the trials of commuting and family life to see whether it still impresses us after that initial shine of new car joy wears off. While the A4 has grown a bit in size over the previous generation, it has actually dropped some weight, so you really feel the increase in power and torque. The A4 2.0T is now rated at 252 horsepower, and between the quick shifting dual clutch auto and Quattro all-wheel drive, it launches to 60 miles per hour in less than 6 seconds. Although it still has a slight hesitation when you first press the accelerator, it very quickly finds traction and gets into its power band, its 273 pound-feet of torque, available from 1600 to 4500 RPM. The steering is quite light, even in dynamic mode, and although I prefer a little bit more weight in the wheel, this is well suited to its luxury mission, something I think most owners will appreciate. The optional sport suspension featured on our tester is more to my taste, staying flat in the corners, but that firm ride does mean that rough roads will bounce you around a bit. Out on the highway, it is rock solid, easily eating up the miles with little effort and without getting twitchy with every little steering input. Just solid, steady, reassuring cruising. However, if you want to relax a bit, the A4 offers optional adaptive cruise control, and Audi's system is one of the best I've experienced. The controls easily mastered, and the response is early and gradual, so it feels like a smooth, alert driver is at the wheel. And Lane Keep Assist adds steering input to nudge the car back into your lane if you stray too close to your lane markings. It will even slow the car down to a full stop in heavy traffic, and then start going again when the cars ahead of you start moving, something that not all of these systems can do. There is still a lot to explore when it comes to Audi's virtual cockpit gauge cluster infotainment system, but I love the sheer number of functions I can control with just my thumb on the left spoke of the steering wheel. Music, phone, and maps are all available to flip between and control without taking my eyes off the road for more than a fraction of a second. What doesn't take long to figure out is just how nice Audi interiors are. The materials are best in class, and while some might find the design boring, I'm a fan of the clean, technical look. As to the space and comfort, there are only mild gains in legroom and headroom, so there isn't quite enough room to lounge in the back, but it's still enough for 4 adults to travel in comfort. The flat-bottom S-line steering wheel is covered in perforated leather, so it looks and feels great in your hand, and every switch and button feels solid and sturdy. The shifter is a cool block of aluminum and perforated leather, and its flat top also serves as a pedestal to balance your hand when aiming to scribble a character on the top of the knob that controls the dash-top screen and its audio, navigation, and vehicle settings functions. It's a thoughtful touch that makes the driving experience just that little bit less distracted. 1 week isn't nearly enough to fully explore Audi's virtual cockpit interface, test it against segment leaders, and to see how its Quattro all-wheel drive system fares in the dead of winter. We'll have the A4 for the next few months, so post your questions in the comments below and tell us what you want to know about the 2017 Audi A4.